so good to be back here in South Carolina, home of the Gamecocks.
The iron Keyshawn soars in from the weak side, however, and flushes that down.
There it is.
Driven hard. The Gamecocks will take the series against their rival.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Gamecock Insider. I'm your host, Derek Scott, coming to you from Founders Park, where it is opening day as the Gamecocks are on the field getting loose, and we are happy to be back to college baseball season. On today's show, we've got coverage of baseball. We've got coverage of men's and women's basketball, as well as the hardwood season heads towards the final furlong, if you will, of these two teams pursuing NCAA tournament glory. As we get things started, though, it's the Prisma Health injury update. The good news on the basketball front is both teams are incredibly healthy at this late stage of the season. That is indeed good news. On the baseball front, one of South Carolina's weekend starters, Matthew Becker, will not be available this opening weekend as he's got a bit of a muscle problem in his shoulder. So we certainly look forward to getting Matthew back in the rotation as soon as possible. And that is your injury update, and it's brought to you by Prisma Health, the official team physicians of your Gamecocks. Carolina women's basketball has had one whale of a season. #1 in the nation, undefeated, and they have taken on all comers, as Don Staley's squads always seem to do. Most recently, it was a showdown with the UConn Huskies. Whenever Gino Auriemma and Don Staley get together, you know it's going to be in the national spotlight. This one was no different. It was a sellout crowd. It was an amazing atmosphere. It was domination by the Gamecocks.
Today, from a sold-out arena in Columbia, the Gamecocks put that 22-0 on the line against the Huskies. It's a matchup just jumping with many of the best players in college basketball today. The place is absolutely packed, not a ticket to be had, and it's going to be loud in here. We're ready to go. Watkins forced it up there, backed it in, and she'll go to the line. Arnold with the down.
Wow, that was an impressive performance by Don Staley's squad and a big-time show-up from both Ashlyn Watkins and also Tahina Paopao. We've got more of Gamecock Insider in just a moment from Learfield.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks, and by Liberty Tap Room. Liberty Tap Room is the home for the Columbia Craft Call-In Show with Gamecock men's and women's basketball. Meet us at Liberty at 6 p.m. on Thursdays during the season for Carolina calls. Liberty Tap Room and Grill, Cocky's favorite place to eat in the Vista.
Hey Gamecock fans, I'm Coach Lamont Paris. The best teams are the ones that are always willing to do more. More in the weight room, more in the classroom, more for each other. And it's important for our team doctors to have the same mindset. With access to more locations, more specially trained experts, and more personalized care, Prisma Health is doing even more to care for our team and our fans. Prisma Health, official healthcare system and team physicians for the Gamecocks.
And it's another big night for the Gamecocks here in Colonial Life Arena.
Throughout my life, my friends and my family have supported me through the championships and the challenges. That's why it's so important for me to lift people up, to help them overcome the obstacles in their way. Colonial Life benefits keep you prepared for life's unexpected moments, empowering people to achieve goals they thought weren't possible. That's what really matters. Colonial Life, keep unexpecting.
Good morning, America. Today, thousands of our teammates will make and deliver over 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally, in towns large and small. From the heartland to the coast, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a passion and a purpose. We love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this baseball season. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cocky's game day guest. Winners will get a special invitation to a game, an autographed baseball and ball cap, 2 premium tickets, a trip to the radio booth, and more. Visit usccontest.com to register today. Cocky's Game Day Guest is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
Welcome back to Gamecock Insider, everybody. You know, Lamont Paris and his men's basketball program have been on one whale of a journey. They have come from the back of the pack, according to the preseason prognosticators, to not only a share of first place in the SEC, but also a top 11 ranking nationally. And Coach Paris has guided his team through it all with great wisdom and motivation. He manages to mix those two very, very well, as you'll find out here on this latest installment of Sunday Cinematics.
Hear me out here. It's hard for you. It's hard for you. Every day, 100 and some practices. That's what it's going to be when it's all said and done. 100 and some practices. Waking up, lifting weights, doing class, going here, travel there, get yelled at by coach. It's hard. I get it. I get it. Okay? If we're going to say the words be us, we got to be us. Because us is good. Us is right. Then let's be us. It's a high standard. Being us ain't just something you just wake up in the morning and just say, hey, we're going to be us. It takes some work, it takes some effort, it takes some commitment, it takes some energy, man. It takes some energy, okay? And the you part of us is way better than me part of us. I'd trade places with you in a heartbeat if you let me. Okay? Never underestimate the power of energy. Big time energy. Great performance. Okay? It's hard. It's hard to win. What is it, 7 in a row? It's hard to win 7 in a row. You know what's harder? 8, baby. 8, baby. The more you do, the harder the next thing gets. The more you do, the harder the next thing gets. Right? Well, we like those challenges. We want those challenges. We were born for those challenges. We embrace those challenges.
Well, that's some great motivation from Coach Paris, don't you think? One guy he certainly has motivated is Colin Murray Boyles, and he is our Terminix Pest Player of the Week. He was the SEC Freshman of the Week after his career-high 31-point performance against Vanderbilt. He followed it up with another big day for the Gamecocks on the road against the Auburn Tigers as well. CMB playing some amazing basketball for South Carolina right now. Congratulations to him as our Terminix Pest Player of the Week. We're coming back with more of Gamecock Insider in just a moment from Learfield.
Okay, so you need to pick up the dog from the groomer, get the laundry, and you finish the book for book club, right?
Book club. Of course I did. Yep. See you there, honey.
It was the best of times.
It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. But the good physician of the Republic would deserve better still. Save him now, my doctor. Save him. It is our father who rescued me, and I have
When you have 537 pages to go, there's a RAV for that. Right now, lease a new 2024 Toyota RAV4 LE for $329 a month for 39 months. Toyota, let's go places.
What does farm to table mean to you? Fresher, tastier food? Sitting down with family and friends at local restaurants? Sure, but thanks to South Carolina farmers and chefs, you can enjoy farm to table anywhere. That's because when you buy certified SC, you're supporting South Carolina farmers and getting locally grown food that's perfect for whatever table. So choose local, choose fresh. It's a matter of taste.
I was perfectly happy where I was. I just coached one of the biggest games of my life. Then, just 3 days later, I was moving to South Carolina. That was unexpected. But that's how life works. Colonial Life's benefits keep you prepared for life's unexpected moments, empowering people to achieve their goals and keep moving forward. Colonial Life, keep unexpecting.
Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP experience this baseball season. Visit usccontest.com and register for your chance to be Cocky's game day guest. Winners will get a special invitation to a game, an autographed baseball and ball cap, 2 premium tickets, a trip to the radio booth, and more. Visit usccontest.com to register today. Cocky's Game Day Guest is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, here for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs.
Good hard work has earned Ayanna Ackley the title of Colonial Life Academic Athlete of the Week. A member of the women's tennis team, Ayanna is a civil engineering major with a 3.54 grade point average. This week's academic athlete is brought to you by Colonial Life. Colonial Life, the benefits of good hard work.
Gamecocks stay in the man-to-man. Samuels has the ball stolen by Fulwiley. Fulwiley races the length of the floor, lays it up and in, and the Gamecocks have their largest lead of 20 points with 1:56 to play in the third.
That is your Sansbury. Did you see that play? And who else but Malaysia Fulwiley picking the pocket of a UConn dribbler and then taking the ball all the way to the rim. Man, she is poetry in motion. So much fun to watch that young lady and her teammates play the game at Colonial Life Arena. Let's turn our attention back to men's basketball. Throughout the year here on Gamecock Insider, our buddies at Gamecocks Plus have been showing you previews and snippets from their special series that they've been running. It's called Changing Expectations. The latest chapter is out. It's chapter 5. Let's get a look at a preview.
When I see an image that I want to capture, I think it's almost kind of like seeing a child on the court that I really like, that I want to take. You know, I just kind of get in that mode. I try and set it up really nicely.
Studi's first free throw, perfect.
Big shot.
No one realistically goes in there and says, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to win the game. But our guys believed that when we went to the game.
My mom always told me not to play nervous, don't look nervous, because other people will see that. So the nerves weren't going to help me. So, like, just play like you were the best player on the court.
Hey, Gamecock fans. I'm Coach Dawn Staley. The best teams are the ones that are always willing to do more. More in the weight room, more in the classroom, more for each other. And it's important for our team doctors to have the same mindset, with access to more locations, more specially trained experts, and more personalized care. Prisma Health is doing even more to care for our team and our fans. Prisma Health, official healthcare system and team physicians for the Gamecocks.
Corrections is rewarding,
faithful,
supportive, motivating,
challenging and diverse, love,
ever-changing,
happiness. Do what you feel that makes you happy, and working at the Department of Corrections, it actually makes me happy because I think that I can make a difference to someone.
Hey Gamecock fans, I'm here to ask you for your support of the Garnet Trust, the official NIL partner of Gamecock Athletics. NIL opportunities are an important part of the student-athlete experience at the University of South Carolina and across the country. Join us as we continue to compete at the highest level of college basketball. Visit garnettrust.com today to join the growing community of members ensuring our athletes are set for their future.
Good morning, America. Today, thousands of our teammates will make and deliver over 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally, in towns large and small. From the heartland to the coast, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a passion and a purpose. We love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
We're back on Gamecock Insider. As you can tell, we are at Founders Park, the home of the University of South Carolina's baseball program. This is where Mark Kingston comes to work every day. Coach Kingston sitting down with our crew recently on Gamecock Talk to get us ready for this 2024 college baseball season. As always, huge expectations for Gamecock baseball. Being the coach of this program, you know that comes with the deal. Coach Kingston able to fill us in on what he expects from his squad this season.
You mentioned pitching going against the 1 through 9 hitters in the SEC. As you come out of fall and you start this process getting ready for February 16th, what is your assessment right now of your entire staff?
Well, I think our pitching right now is very similar to what our hitters were last year at this time. A little unproven. People had some question marks or who's going to step up, who's going to be the go-to guys. But we feel pretty confident internally that we're going to have guys that can do the job. Last year at this time, people were wondering about our offense, but we kind of knew what Gavin Costas was going to be. We knew that Cole Messina had made some big improvements, and there are pitchers on our staff now that we feel the exact same. So last year, our offense proved to be much better than anybody anticipated, and our hope and our goal right now is that our pitching, while it is being questioned a little bit right now, we think internally we have enough guys to really get the job done.
Without asking you who, but what do you look for in a Friday night starter? Like, what is it? Is it a mentality? Is it pitches they have?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that really makes in this league a Friday night starter?
Well, it's all the above. You've got to be talented enough. You have to have the raw stuff on most nights to compete against other Friday night starters, because LSU's going to throw Paul Skeens at you, and Vanderbilt's always going to have a guy that's a future first rounder on a Friday night. So you need to have a guy that has the stuff to match up. You need to have a certain mentality. Pitching on a Friday night, you need to be a dog. I mean, you really do. You need to believe in yourself. You need to want to compete at the highest level, and you need to feel like, I don't care who's on the other side and who's in the other dugout. I'm going to help us win. So you factor all those things in, and sometimes it's a junior. I've seen freshmen occasionally be able to come and do it because they're that talented and that mature. But a Friday night starter in the SEC is a special deal.
Are freshmen also sometimes naive and don't understand some of the things? And
sometimes
just talent is talent.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss, for sure. And you cannot understand how many people are watching on ESPN, and you cannot understand you're not supposed to beat an SEC team on a Friday night as a freshman. Sometimes those things are good too.
Yeah. To piggyback off Bill's question about a Friday night guy, one of the things I love about college baseball relative to the bigs, at least until you get to the postseason, is that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or at least games 1, 2, 3, they're all so crucial, relative to a 5-man rotation in the bigs where, your number one guy pitches on a Tuesday one week and on a Friday the next week, or whatever it might be. But game 2 guys, I mean, maybe you won on Friday and he's going for the series win, or you didn't win on Friday. He's got to get you to 1-1 to give it to the Sunday guy. The Sunday guy going for a sweep, going for a series win, going to salvage. Every one of those roles has a unique mentality that's different from the pros.
They do. The pros play 162 games. We play 56 in the regular season. So there are a lot of different ways to determine how you match up your pitchers. Sometimes you can just line them up 1, 2, 3. You have your midweek starter, you have your closer, your setup man, and a couple matchup guys and long relievers. Sometimes you don't have that luxury. Sometimes you want to match it up. You have to get creative. What I mean by that is if you're playing a team that has a 1A, a 1B, and a 1C, if your guys are just a tick behind them, even though your guys are really good, sometimes you may switch it up a little bit. Right. So because you could either be 0 for 3 in terms of the matchup, or you could slide guys around, and now you have the advantage in 2 of the 3 games. And so there's a lot of different ways to look at it. Sometimes it's a math equation. Sometimes it's just line it up, our best versus your best. Sometimes guys need rest, and so that becomes a factor. Other times you have to decide, do we want to put this guy in as a starter, or is he more important in the back of our bullpen? There's a million things to consider. At the end of the day, you do what you think is going to give your team the best chance to win.
When you look at the bullpen now, again, a stopper is of huge importance. Set up now, there's so many things that are specialized when it comes to pitching. How close are you to determining those roles? We know what Chris Veach is all about, certainly at the back end, but guys to get there in front of him, how much work is there still to be done?
There's a lot of work to be done. We've got, as I mentioned, there's a lot of new pitchers, names that our fans don't know yet, but they will in a really good way soon. It starts with Chris Veach, though. Chris Veach most likely will be our closer. However, we're going to give him a chance to throw multiple innings early in our spring ball just to see if he's potentially a starter, because he's very similar to what Brett Carey was for us a few years ago, where, yeah, he can start for you and he can win games, but he felt so important at the end of a game that you were hesitant to move him into the starting role and maybe leave a little bit of a hole in the back. So Beach is kind of a similar type pitcher. He's throwing multiple pitches for strikes now. The changeup is lethal, and he's healthier than he was last year. He dealt with a hip injury last year that a lot of people don't know about, and so that's been taken care of. He's healthier than he's been, so he's going to be a key guy for us, no question. Probably is the closer, but not for sure yet.
You look at it again as we sit here today, about a month away from opening day. When does your excitement level really rise? I know right now you're really focused. You're talking about individual workouts and you're excited to see individuals, but when does that, is it the first day of team practice or is it the first day you actually put on the uniform, look in the mirror and make sure you're looking good this year?
Well, that's the problem right there. I would say they each have different levels of that excitement. The first day back in our first team meeting here after everybody was gone for 4 weeks for the holidays, that was a cool day because we all came back in here. We got back together. We went out to Fort Jackson to kind of build that team togetherness again. As we start our first team practice in about 10 days, that will have a new excitement because everybody has the uniform on because we're in shorts during individuals most of the time. So it's the first time we all put the uniform on for practice together and you're seeing a baseball game in the form of a scrimmage. And then the ultimate level is opening day. And you start to feel that a few days, that week when opening day is this week, that's when you start to get that excitement and the butterflies and the nervousness and all those things that come along with something that you really care about.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that was your third trip to Fort Jackson this year.
Yes.
And it's really cool for us here in the Midlands to have Fort Jackson and the tie-in that we've seen. Shane taking his team out there. Lamont did something similar. What have you seen when you go out there with the camaraderie of the people at Fort Jackson along with your players and how you've seen it develop your team?
It's vital. In these days, as you brought up the transfer portal earlier, I think it's more important now than ever to do these team building activities because you can't just take it for granted that your team's going to get along or they're going to learn how to do things together and pull on the same rope together. So when we go out to Fort Jackson, those are the lessons that our guys learn. They get on the bus together, they go out there and they run through the woods and they climb over the walls and they get over the bridges together, like just all those things that really builds that team camaraderie. They have fun together, they struggle together. In the age of the transfer portal, I think anytime you can do that, it's really important for a team.
Couple quick final things for you. As I arrived here at the ballpark today, and I told you guys off camera, Christian Walker was here. Obviously, he's had a tremendous last couple of seasons. His team made the playoffs. What's it like for your guys now to see guys like that for the example, and what does he lend when he's here in the off season?
Well, he's a great example of what can be done as you come through this program and move on. Christian's a tremendous Gamecock. He had great success while he was here. He's had great success after leaving Columbia. He still resides here in the off season. He just signed a new big contract with the Diamondbacks, which we're all very excited about for him. He's a great role model for our players. He hits in the cages and works out in our weight room almost every day during the winter, and he's very open to helping guys and talk baseball with them. And as we feel about all our alumni and all the guys that have played here, we welcome them back with open arms. It's very important that those guys feel like this is their home. They were here before I was here, and I want them to know that I appreciate everything they've done and that they are welcome back here 100% of the time with open arms, and the more the better.
When you assess everything going on, we look at the rankings and some things, the SEC, it feels like, 10 or so of the top 25 SEC teams. That's a good thing. I firmly believe that. What's that message like as you tell your team, boys, there isn't a day off at any point?
Well, you just have to know that it's going to be a grind. It really is. It's the American League East is what the SEC
Right.
is. So you just have to know there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be adversity, there's going to be great highs when you win a big series on the road. There's going to be lows when a game slips away. And we're going to try to make sure we do a good job as coaches of keeping them on an even keel to know that you just have to survive it. The truth of the matter in college baseball and the SEC, if you survive the SEC and you get to the postseason, you've got a great chance to get to a super regional and get to Omaha.
When the South Carolina women's basketball team makes 3 3-pointers in a game, you'll score a free 3-piece hand-breaded chicken tender the next day at Hardee's. Simply download the Gamecocks app, Show the Hardee's cashier the app offer and enjoy hand-breaded tender deliciousness. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer brought to you by your friends at Hardee's. Participating Columbia and Spartanburg area restaurants only. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
Let me educate you real quick. The lottery is not about getting rich. No, the lottery is about helping people, and it always has been. It was the lottery that helped raise the Great Wall of China. Lotteries maintain the roads of ancient Rome and helped to usher in Western civilization as we know it. The lottery forged a foundation in this country and then helped fund a revolution against tyranny that built on that foundation. And today, in South Carolina, the revolution continues. But we're not building walls or roads or bridges. We're investing in you. Every year, the South Carolina Education Lottery raises millions of dollars to help build an educated, well-equipped, and prepared people. And if you want to get in on the action, there's no better partner. After all, education is our middle name.
For over 40 years, Sound and Images has been South Carolina's corporate multimedia partner for live events. Sound and Images is also your resource for commercial audiovisual installations. Help your teams collaborate more efficiently with a custom-crafted AV solution from Sound and Images. Whether you want a single monitor upgrade or a turnkey AV system, we are dedicated to helping you incorporate easy-to-use technology into your space. And we offer the best-in-class support and service. Elevate your AV. Call Sound and Images today.
At Carolina, we know what it looks like to be the best. We've been there. We've got it at our ballpark, in the stands, and in the dugout with Prisma Health. Prisma Health helps keep our players at their best, and they're providing the same expert care to our fans across the state. With more locations, the best clinical technology, and a team of experts I trust, there's no one I'd rather have take care of our team and our state. Prisma Health, official healthcare system and team physicians for the Gamecocks.
Gamecock Insider is brought to you by Prisma Health, the official healthcare provider of the Gamecocks, and by Liberty Tap Room. Liberty Tap Room is the home for the Columbia Craft Call-In Show with Gamecock men's and women's basketball. Meet us at Liberty at 6 p.m. on Thursdays during the season for Carolina calls. Liberty Tap Room and Grill, Cocky's favorite place to eat in the Vista.
Back to wrap things up on this week's edition of Gamecock Insider. Time for On the Road. It's brought to you by our friends at Toyota. We start with men's basketball. South Carolina heading out next weekend to Oxford, Mississippi, where they will take on the Rebels. Already defeated them once at Colonial Life Arena, trying to go for the season sweep of Ole Miss. Meanwhile, it's championship season for swimming and diving. That means the squad will be headed to Auburn to compete in an SEC championship. Meanwhile, the indoor track and field SEC Championships is going on in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Good luck to all of those Gamecocks in pursuing SEC glory. And that is On the Road. It's brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And that'll do it for us. Thanks for joining us once again this week here on Gamecock Insider. I'm Derek Scott. We'll see you next time.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.